Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Inside View with Teddy Panos. I am your host, Teddy Panos, coming to you here from the Inside Lowell studios in downtown Lowell, Massachusetts. In just a couple of moments, going to chat with Lowell City Councilor Ratha Yem, who represents the Acre District in the city of Lowell and has an awful lot of stuff going on in that district. District 7, as he's giving me the seven fingers. I always mess up. I call it 6 and 7. That's why I just use the neighborhood name. But we'll talk to Councilor Yem in a quick moment because there's a lot of stuff going on in his district. It was front and center in last night's city council meeting. Of course, I want to thank our sponsors for helping make this podcast, all of our podcasts, and InsideLowell.com possible. Of course, we start with our friends at Washington Savings Bank. I've got it's water today. I had too much coffee before I got in here to record this. So we're using our Washington Savings mug for water this morning. If you open an account with them, tell them they gave one to Teddy Panos. They should give you one as well. Also, if you open an account in Washington Savings Bank, you have 1 month remaining. We're recording this on March 1st. This is the last month, last opportunity for Lowell and Drake residents. Open an account and get $1,000 in direct deposits put into that account within 30 days. Qualifying direct deposits could be your payroll checks, right? Could be Social Security checks. Deposit $1,000 in direct deposits into that account. They'll give you $300. It's a phenomenal offer. You can't get 30% return on your money in many places, not without a lot of risk involved. No risk here. Just open the account. WashingtonSavings.com. Learn more about that offer, all the other great products and services and features that this local institution has to offer. WashingtonSavings.com. Thank you as well to our friends at Hafner's. Speaking of local institutions, Hafner's has so many products in addition to heating your home with heating oil or propane. They've got their gas stations, right, with the iconic kicking mule sign. You see it right here behind me. It's a kicking donkey sign, as I found out from doing my my podcast with the folks that own Hafner's. They have their Hafner's Car Wash and their Car Wash Club. Receive unlimited car washes each month in a plan that's designed to fit your vehicle. You've been driving around these last week or two with all the snow, the slush, the mud, the dirt. You need to get your car clean. Hafner's Car Wash is the way to go. Plus, they've got the Hafner's app that will allow you to place orders, pay your bills, update your information, and so much more. Learn more by calling 866-IT-KICKS, 866-IT-KICKS, or visit Hafners.com to learn more. And last but certainly not least, our friends at Reverie 73 Cannabis Dispensary right here in the city of Lowell. It's a new business. It's a new industry. Folks are always asking me, what do I know? The answer was, I didn't know much. So until I started talking to our friends at Reverie 73, the store itself stands out. It's bright, it's beautiful. They're knowledgeable staff, always ready to go the extra mile to answer any questions you might have. And Lord knows I ask a lot of them. Take advantage of it as well. Whether you're new to the world of cannabis or a canna connoisseur, Reverie 73 is sure to elevate your cannabis experience. Their location is at 1148 Bridge Street in Lowell, opening 2 more in the Commonwealth, 1 in Beverly, 1 in Gloucester, scheduled to open this year. You can also order online at reverie73.com. And with that, let me turn my attention to my guest on this podcast, Ratha Yem, Lowell City Councilor. Good morning, Councilor. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. Thank you, Ted. Great to be with you. It's been a while, and I always wonder, when he's going to pencil me in.
we got you in here. This is actually your second time in our office here. Yes. You came in for our launch party back in December. Seems like a lifetime ago, doesn't it now?
Yes. The food was phenomenal.
Glad you appreciated it. And thank you for stopping by and for supporting local media and really for supporting the city. So much to talk about with you. You had a couple of motions on the city council agenda last night. You've been very, very busy in your first first term as the Acre, the District 7 representative. So busy, but you're still enjoying it because you you had an official announcement that you're launching your campaign for re-election. We had chatted back in January, and you confirmed that you had every intention of running again. Now that it's official, when do you kind of switch into, you know, campaign mode as opposed to council mode, and how do you separate the two of them?
It is very difficult to do that, but some wise person told me who were before me said, when you are on the council, you campaign every day. So whether you go to a ribbon cutting, you go to flag raising ceremonies and other event, that's campaign mode right there as well. And I sort of agree with that, and I try to get to go to every event, flag raising of different nationality that's in the city of Lowell, and a Greek festival is one of them I attend. I even have a tie that represents the flag, the Greece.
You had the best tie at the Greek Independence Day parade ceremony, plus the program over at the Hellenic Academy. So you put me to shame. I'll tell you that much.
So it's a way to show people that I appreciate the different background and culture of our cities. And, you know, of course, I come from Cambodia, and we have our own different cultures and food traditions and all of that. It's just one way of showing the appreciation. It's what makes Lowell unique and a beautiful place to live. You know, you can try different food, different nationality without having to leave Lowell.
And you always are looking for new creative ways to celebrate all that culture, which I want to talk about. But before we get off the election subject here, you mentioned the benefits of being an incumbent as you're campaigning every day, but simply by going to events. The drawback is you also have a record. So you've now made votes, some of them controversial, some of them popular. Has the experience of district representation, how has that fared to what you had run before for an at-large seat, and you hadn't served, but serving as a district representative, is it what you envisioned?
Yes, I think for me it's synced in, and for me it's important now that, you know, I represent District 7, which made up largely by the Acre, the largest populations, a section of the city. Also have a small portion of downtown and the Low Highland, and the resident also start to realize that now I can call the, you know, representative representing my district, the Acre. This past 2 storm, I received numerous calls that their sidewalk of their homes not being plowed or cleared. The side street was not done. You know, some would call you personally. Some would just like post it on social media just to get you to move, you know. So I would just contact the city, and this administration had been very on top of things. This past snowstorm is back to back, it's a lot. And then I appreciate the crew, the PW. They went out, you know, like midnight of the 27th. And all the way to the next day. And it's so they work so hard. And of course, the side street, the small side street, may not get the attention. But if resident call up, we can just call the DPW to kind of send the trucks, the salt truck or the plow truck to clear it, you know. So
you've been an Acre resident for a while. Do you and you didn't observe this in the past from a council seat? You observed it as a resident. Do you think the city is more responsive to neighborhood complaints now, or neighborhood phone calls, than it was prior to the district representation?
I've seen that personally. Yes, before. They don't know who to call, you know. There's all 9 of them, and everybody say we represent the whole city. But of course, how do you know the Acre if you live in the Belvedere, you know, something like that? So, you know, so that's what the different this time around, and the city is much better because if something happened to Centerville, they call Corey, or in the Acre, they call myself. So they know exactly who to call. And from the campaign point of view, it's a lot easier. So I could make a second or third round of campaigning in the Acre. I walk first round, and then you go around the second time, and just before the final election, November, you hit one more time. So, and also the cost of running is less as well, because you just focus on your district. And before, in 2015, 2017, I have to spend all the time the whole city. And if you're a new person with a funny last name like me, it's hard for people because they already support certain candidate, incumbent in the district. In 2015, my wife and I spent 3 months in the Belvedere, knocking on doors. Yeah.
So in terms of the way to run a campaign, also the serving and how people have a direct person of contact, that was among the goals in changing the system to district representation. Right. The other one was to increase engagement, to get more people involved. Right. Are you seeing that? Do you get the sense that more people involved? Because you were kind of a neighborhood leader even before you were a counselor. Right. You were one of the people that the Southeast Asian population in general, but also other residents of the Acre, they went to you. You put yourself out there very vocally. Right. Do you get the sense more people are engaged now, or are they sitting back and saying, "Well, we've got a counselor. That's his job now"?
Well, we do have. I've seen the new more people registered to vote. The reason being is that if they support my candidacy, they go out and they register, while before, they did not register to vote. And then that's what make it different. And as you can see the election result, I won by 69 votes. And those 69 votes are all brand new. They are their first time voting. And then they call their family and they contact their friend to register. And our campaign, myself and our team, go out and register people and talk to people about it. And they're excited to have somebody that they know who represent their street, their neighborhood, to name on the ballots. And here's one other surprising is that I have a few UMass Lowell students who live in Lowell, in my district. Remember, the Acre has both university, the North and the South campus, and they were all so excited about it. They register, and then they have people that support the candidates, my candidacy. I went to this Saturday to Dragonfly Cafe grand opening. This young man and his girlfriend, UMass Lowell student, came over and introduced himself and say, "Hey, my name is Brad. I want to show you something." So he showed me a picture of my campaign sign in his bedroom in the dorm. He said, "We were so excited, and you have such a great yard sign." So everybody, we took one and put it in our room. So he lived on School Street, dorm, and his girlfriend live on Broadway. So they all in the Acre. And this is similar story like this. I received a phone call from university student. They say, "Oh, we support your candidacy. You everywhere,
Now you got to make sure they come out to vote for you again this time. That's it. I'm not hearing much buzz about anybody running against you in the district. I'm actually not hearing a lot of buzz about anybody challenging any of the district councilors. Maybe one. Right. But do you anticipate somebody stepping forward just to make you work through the summer, or do you think you might get an easier summer than some of your colleagues?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that I would just have an easy. I will go all out, because remember, at the end of our term we start the running the seat is vacant, even though I'm incumbent, but my term expired. Then I have to go out and campaign and for re-election. So I looked at it as just the campaign. With challenger or no challenger, I will work as hard as as I did 2 years ago. The thing that make me excited, and then that a lot of project that is happening in the city of Lowell, and as a councilor represent the district, I had the privilege and opportunity to support these kind of project, project that will make a difference in the community, in the acre beautification, affordable housing development, business economic development, and helping businesses.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about some of those specifically. We're chatting with Lowell City Councilor Paul Ratha Yem. You're watching the Inside View with Teddy Panos. Want to thank our sponsors again for helping make this podcast, all of our podcasts, and of course for helping make all of InsideLowell.com possible. As we like to say, if Lowell is your home, this is your place. And of course, if Lowell is your home, you're familiar with our friends at Washington Savings Bank. So many great banking services that they offer, both for personal banking customers, but also for business, small business customers. They focus on individualized service. They've been in the community for well over a century, and they've got some great services. You can find out about all of them, including an opportunity for you to get $300 for free. Yeah, that's right. They're going to give you $300 if you open a new account and get $1,000 directly deposited into that account. So this is the last month for Lowell and Drake residents to take advantage of that opportunity. Go to WashingtonSavings.com to learn more. That's WashingtonSavings.com. Learn more. Thank you as well to our friends at Reverie 73 Cannabis Dispensary. Their mission statement: to listen, explain, inspire, and delight. And they do that last one better than all. Delight. They're opening 2 more locations this year, one in Beverly, one in Gloucester. They are focused on the customer education and the customer experience. They're friendly, knowledgeable staff, always ready to go the extra mile. So whether you're a new to the world of cannabis or a canna connoisseur, Reverie 73, sure to elevate your cannabis experience. Visit them at 1148 Bridge Street in Lowell. You can also order online at reverie73.com. Last but certainly not least, thanks to our friends at Hafner's. This time of year, home heating oil, top of the mind for many greater Lowell residents. Should be, given the harsh New England weather. As lucky as we've been this year, you still know we got a little more cold stuff to get through. So don't take any chances with your family or your home. Hafner's takes the worry off your mind with their comprehensive services, whether you use propane or heating oil in your home. Hafner's offers quick, reliable, and friendly service. Call 866-IT-KICKS to learn more. That's 866-IT-KICKS, or visit hafners.com. We continue with City Councilor Paul Ratha Yem. Let's talk about everything happening in the district. Last night was the night they kind of unveiled some of the ARPA money, the distribution for parks. Kind of ties into what we were chatting about earlier, because one of the complaints with the initial ARPA distribution for parks was that all the money, or too much of the money, was going to one park and not enough was being spread out. Are you happy with the reconfiguration, the redistribution of that money?
I'm very happy, and I'm very grateful for the DPD staff. They are phenomenal. They experienced, professional. And the thing that they did well is that they invite each councilor representing the district to come and talk about what are their priorities, including myself. So my priority during my conversation is the North Common Park, which is a softball park, but also have other section where activities are also that happening there. The most concern that the resident wants is that there is a toilet already. The structure for the toilet, there was built when the softball park came into part of the school that there, and it's closed down. It's not being used, not allowed to use. So they want that bathroom to be renovated and then be used, and maybe extend that that building out a little bit more to have concession stands, similar to other park that has concession stand, and then the restroom, and also maybe have some room for storage equipments and stuff like that. The plumbing and everything is already in there. The only thing is to renovate it and make it use again. So that's what the resident wants, and then the city he is at. So put plans together. It's about $1,000,000, $1,200,000 to modernize, to open up the bathroom with concession, and also to upgrade the baseball field into the field that accommodate not just the minor league, but also the the junior, but also the regular. I'm not a baseball, so I'm told that that's field that you can play for the smaller kids, and then for the senior, and the grown up, and that's really something that we are excited. In addition, remember I mentioned District 7, including the Low Highland a little bit.
Sure, yes.
And we call Clemente Park. For Cambodian, we call Pailan Park, because that's what everybody knows. And that's a beautiful redesign of the whole park, and we all excited. A part of the Cambodia town on one side, and the side of the park is part of District 7, which is, I have something to do with that. And the plan of the Clemente Park is beautiful. It's a combination of using ARPA money and the CDBG fund, and it can be in stages. The first stage, ARPA money will renovate it, the basketball field and volleyball that's been used so much, and also the reconfiguration of the Cambodian town, the traffic wise and everything like that, make it more beautiful. The road at that intersection between Branch and Middlesex Street is kind of all beaten up and all that. So this also come together and tie together really well.
And there's, besides the parks, which are important,
Right.
That ARPA money also can go towards a lot of other projects, infrastructure. You mentioned
Yes.
fire trucks, police
Yeah.
cruisers.
Yeah.
Are you satisfied with how much has been invested in those
Yes.
areas?
Again, I'm really happy and grateful for the staff at DPD, also the director, the person that in charge of the funding for APA, doing the community listen sessions and all that. Yes, I'm happy that the money for the park is great, but also for our first responder, the police and the fire. So the fire department through APA be able to purchase 10 new fire trucks, including the ladders and it's just a pump and all together. So will be 10 new fire trucks coming on. The problem is that the supply chain, so we all put the order in, the fire department put order in, and it take time to arrive. So, but continue forward after the APA. As a councillor, I would like to see that the city would set aside funding for replacing other trucks, that is more than 12 years old. So this is really critical that we keep doing that, not just a one time and forget about that, so just like your home, you just you have to set money aside to fix it, and then buy new stuff for when the old stuff is gone.
Every year, as I'm learning. On top of the ARPA money, the CDBG grants that you
Right.
talked about, there's also something called TDI, Transformative Development Initiative.
Right.
And we chatted with Nate Robertson.
Nate,
We actually
yeah.
did a podcast
That's great.
from Mass Development.
Yes.
And they have specifically created a district in the Acre.
Yes.
And you actually went, they had a public information session in the beginning of
kickoff.
February
Right.
that you went to. How excited are you about this as a potential to grow the business community
Right.
in the Acre, and modernize maybe some
Right.
older buildings where
Right.
families have had businesses forever, and they could,
Right.
it's expensive to
Yes.
to redo an old building, change a storefront, etc. How much? I'm assuming you're enthusiastic, but how enthusiastic are the residents that you've been speaking to and the
Right.
business owners there?
Well, I'm personally ecstatic. In addition to the TDI coming, the development we talked about in the Acre, one of the important that I really I'm proud of and excited about is the Acre Crossing. The Acre Crossing is the old JDCU headquarters, now going to be redeveloped into a mixed use. First floor will be some of the headquarters of the JDCU, GNAC Credit Union, and then a portion for other businesses, office space, and maybe some retail space, a restaurant or whatever. And upstairs will be a combination of rental and then townhouse style ownership, and this is very critical. In addition, the Acre Crossing received $1.7 million from Mass Works to improve the infrastructure, the road, the sidewalk that start from the city hall all the way on Merrimack Street, all the way to the river. And I advocating why can't we do the same thing on the other side on Market Street? So if you start on Market Street from Dutton Street, the road run parallel to each other. But the Market Street will change name at the Cabot Street, and then now become Salem Street,
Yes.
and then all the way to the end to the river. My friend from California made fun of me that our street in Massachusetts never have the same name. and I say that's a beauty of living in New England. You know, you gotta be on your guard.
You have to know where you're going, and better know your neighborhood. To me, that's a very important project, University Crossing, because in many ways,
Acre Crossing.
The Acre Crossing. I apologize, but because it leads to University Crossing and all the things that the university has on one side. But it also connects you to the downtown. And when you see a project of that size, eventually the improvements start to trickle out.
Right.
And, before you know it, you've got an area that was once blighted. Let's be honest. There was a time you wouldn't walk in that area, right? Maybe to get into the bank, and that was it.
Yeah.
But now, the vision as I see it is really, as I see how big that building is that they're putting in there, I can now kind of see it, how that's going to serve as a catalyst to completely redesign that neighborhood.
Whole neighborhood, yes. And also this development will also, in addition to providing housing, and also help build a generational wealth for family 17 family who eventually live in that townhouse style in the Acre Crossing there. But the important on top of that, that's what make TDI project more excited for me, because the Acre Crossing helped develop that area, and now TDI providing additional money for existing businesses who are located on Merrimack Street and on Salem Street, who are to be able to utilize that money, and I'm told it's up to $15,000. Remember, step back to the ARPA money. The city just put out the ARPA economic development and launching the grant application that will be starting, I think, the 15th of March, they will have, or the 18th of March, and this grant will help economic resiliency grants, meaning that if you survive during the COVID, you can apply to some of the grants money, and the storefront improvement. Remember the TDI providing money for equipment, for example. But if you want to improve as an existing business owner, you can improve your signage and all of that, and facility rehab. You want to renovate your inside of your business, make it more attractive now that a lot of people are coming in. And the other portion of the economic development APA is to help the nonprofit who are working to help us local businesses. So this is all come together as we as the city unroll the APA money.
Yeah, I'm excited. I have a hunch that anybody who maybe grew up in the Acre left, if you come back in 5 to 10 years, you may not recognize it, right?
Exactly.
Are you concerned at all that affordable housing is one of the big discussions as well?
Yes.
And the Acre is one of those neighborhoods where new visitors to the city, whether they're immigrants or students or whatever, that's one of the most affordable neighborhoods in the city. Are you concerned that a lot of this might drive up the cost and maybe make it inaccessible to some folks who normally would settle in a neighborhood like the Acre?
Well, if we do it right, meaning if the city doing it right, and I'm the chair of the housing subcommittee, so for the private properties we have no control, but for a lot of development by developers coming into the city who want to build affordable housing. That's what we like to support. This past round of the CPA fund that was given out to various projects. Acre Crossing is one of the project, and then CBA has 555 Sober House on Merrimack Street, and then the other big development that I'm also excited, and I even provide a support letter, is the Boston Capital developed the old warehouse of the food bank at 735 Broadway Street. That unit is going to be roughly 100 units of affordable housing. So to keep that affordable, and normally it's about 10-15 years affordability. And here's what I think it will help keeping units affordable. As long as we have enough units, right, that the demand would be not as high. If you don't have a lot of it, then you drive up the cost. But the study show that the city of Lowell lack about 500-600 unit of housing. So if we work with developer who come into the Acre, want to develop affordable housing, we should support it to make it more available. In addition to the Acre development of affordable housing, I'm sitting on the zoning and also the housing subcommittee as a chair, working together with the zoning subcommittee to allow, and we changed it, DMU, downtown multi-units, to allow owners of these property, like the building you in, upstairs, that are vacant right now. So why can't we make that into a housing, affordable housing, things like that? So now you open up more housing stocks in the city. Similar to go to Boston Chinatown, you see, go to all the restaurant and shop on the first floor. All these cooks and wait staff live upstairs.
Sure.
So the same thing here. And that's what we are pushing to have it done. As a city councilor, as a city administration, we want to see the owner of these buildings downtown on Merrimack Street, develop upstairs to be an affordable apartment or condo, whatever, but that need to be something done. My previous life as a director of the Cambodian American League, we developed number 60 Middlesex Street next to Washington Savings Bank, the Garnick's brothers, and then the barber shop, and that two building.
My buddy
upstairs.
George over there, Majestic.
Yes, the Majestic, yes. We developed that second, third floor into 24 affordable housing. And it has a lot of support from not just from the city, from the CPA fund, but also the tax credit. As an affordable housing, you leverage that tax credit, and the owner of building downtown Lowell should also look at it. The zoning change that we no more requirement of on-site parking. So this is one of the barriers that we kind of take it down so that owner can afford it to build up the apartment upstairs.
Sure. Lots going on in your district, but you've also focused a lot on the city as a whole. And one of the areas that I've noticed that you've kind of become the guy who really wants to celebrate this city. You love parades, obviously.
Yes.
But you from your hometown heroes banners, like that initiative that's, like all these little ideas. Last night's meeting, you talked a little bit about Lovelock bridges and celebrating the bicentennial of the city of Lowell. And some folks may look at that and kind of say, yeah, all right, that's nice, but that's not the important stuff.
Right.
Actually, the image of your city is very, very important. And I've been finding that out as I talk to more and more people out of town and try to convince them to invest their money in various projects in the city. The image of the city, the appearance of it, those subtle little things, they really do make a difference when taken as a whole. And it strikes me that you've really focused a lot on that in your first term.
Right. The first motion I filed is to bring back the the wreath and laying American flags at all the Veterans Square and poles throughout the city. During my campaign, I'm told by the Gold Star family that the program was kind of stopped 20 years ago, and they asked me if I liked it, I will bring that back, and I did. I brought that back along with the hometown hero banners. We start last year. We have 14 banners, including 4 police officers that was killed on in the line of duties. We have pictures on the wall at the city hall. So I had that banners made for them, and I'm proud to be to support 9 of the 14 banners. That means I pay $150 each for the banner, their family providing the picture and then put them up. So this year I want to expand that program to even bigger. In addition to the hometown hero banner, we will have that placed during the month of May in front of the City Hall, on the side of the City Hall on the Merrimack Street, to honor them, and then we will take it down. And I heard so much about the Memorial Day, the Memorial Day, the parade, so I heard so much.
I remember that. That was I'm old enough to remember how well attended that was. The crowds were 4 or 5 deep.
Yes, that's phenomenal. And then I heard so much, and I say, why can't we bring that back? So last night, my motion is to in addition to celebrate the 200 years anniversary of the city of Lowell, I want to bring back that parade. And then the response is that, we're going to start something from the City Hall and along Merrimack Street, go to the auditorium and to celebrate along with the Greater Merrimack Valley Veteran Council, work together. So we start out small, and hopefully we'll snowballing into a bigger like it used to be. That's my thing. And the last 2 motion I was proposing, I would like to see a letter of the word Lowell, and create it and have our art community come up with the designs and everything, and then to place wherever they think is good. The reason I got this idea because we travel a lot on vacation, and every place we go, we would Google and search, what are the most interesting place to visit. We went to Cleveland, Ohio in 2019 before the pandemic, and we visit the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They have the lettering, the long live rock and roll, something like that. So we all stand in each of the lettering. And then they behind that, they have the word, the script, Cleveland script, and become popular tourist attraction. Everybody take picture, and in Cleveland they don't have just one, they have 6 of them at the beach, at the parks and everything, and people would go to visit as a tourist. They would love to take the picture, post it on social media, right? And that's how they promote the city without knowing they promoting the city, including myself, right? So why can't we have that in Lowell? So in 2017, we celebrate our wedding anniversary. I took my wife to Paris. In Paris, they have this Pont des Arts, that means the bridge of arts. And a lot of lovers, put the locks with their name, with the wedding anniversary date, and then they hook it to the bridge and lock it, throw the keys into the Sun River. Right. The 2015, the French government took down because it's too heavy, but there's another street, so we end up using another street, another bridge called Pont Neuf, that means new bridge. And then I'm thinking to myself, why can't we do this? We have Lucy Larkham Park, and there's a bridge there. If we build it right, we can have all the lovers who come to Lowell celebrate their wedding or wedding anniversary, do the same thing, creating a tourist attraction. Also the economy, we have to buy locks. And the locksmith, the street vendor, right, sell all this. They make money, and we didn't have a chance to engrave it, so we just use a marker. We have to buy a marker, So creating all this money, and the city of Lowell has lots of people coming for the folk festival, Southeast Asian water festival, and everything else in between of the festival. Imagine people come in and say, oh, let's go take a picture of the word Lowell, at the City Hall Plaza, or, while we're here, celebrate our wedding anniversary. So let's put a lock and throw the key in the canal.
So you're envisioning these things, and of course the 200th anniversary, the bicentennial of Lowell is in 2026, right? So we have about 3 years to prepare. Final thought: what do you envision? What would be an appropriate way to celebrate Lowell 200 years if you could be in charge of that celebration?
My envision is that we came a long way, and as a city, diverse population, you mentioned I love parade all the different nationality groups, and we can start somewhere. That's leave up to the planner, but I'd like to see that it end up at the City Hall Plaza of all of these, parade ended there. There's a lot of food, a lot of music, a lot of dancing, along with speeches and stuff like that. And some of these nationality, they have their own consulate, from Boston, whether it's Irish or Greek, they have consulate. They also participate. People from the old country, from Greece or from Ireland, from Canada, from Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, all official are also join in part of that 200 celebration. And lastly, I like to create some sort of mementos, a souvenir that people can participate and buy it and then keep it as a souvenir, because 200 years, that's a long time. We will have another 200 years, but these memento can last forever, pass on to generation of their family and families, so that would be my vision. That's what I like to see. Yeah.
Hey, everybody likes a good celebration,
Yes.
and we need to think about this.
Yes.
So you don't want to start planning that big of a party at the last minute.
No, I hate last minute.
Yes. I mean, I'm a procrastinator. Councilor Paul Ratha Yem, representing District 7, the Acre Lower Highlands District. Thank you so much for joining me here in our Inside Lowell studios. Keep up the good work out there, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. We'll talk soon.
You betcha. And thank you for joining us here on the Inside View with Teddy Panos. You can view this. You're viewing it, I should say, whether it's on our YouTube channel, on our website, InsideLowell.com, on Facebook, on Twitter. And of course, also we're available now, in case you didn't know it, on all the major podcast services: Spotify, Apple, Google, TuneIn. I think we're on Pandora. We're working on all the others as well. InsideLowell.com, as we like to say, news, information, and sometimes entertainment on your schedule, not ours. And also, as we like to say, if Lowell is your home, Inside Lowell is your place. Thank you for joining me. Till next time, everybody stay safe out there.